The many worlds interpretation is a wholly ridiculous idea, with little basis in evidence and much basis in extreme speculation. As such, it has become one of the most popular, successful, and widely accepted theories of reality the people of Earth have today. Theories of parallel universes and alternate timelines have existed on Earth ever since man first thought to himself, what if? While precisely what if question man first thought to himself is up for debate, many experts speculate it was in regards to a female. One of the first parallel world theories was that of a so-called counter-Earth, a planet much like our own, with the same orbit as Earth, but on the opposite side of the Sun, rendering it invisible. After science became clever enough to prove this theory bunk, others moved on to new ideas, such as proposing that with a conceptually infinite universe, the almost infinite improbability of a virtually identical universe with a slight variation dropped out to almost certain probability. In fact, this idea states, this parallel universe could be right outside the observable universe, conveniently altering the distance it lies away in direct relation to what we can actually prove. However, as the amount of universe we can observe is so absurdly huge in and of itself, it is estimated that even with the best advances in cryotechnology and travel at the speed of light, none of the people who so strongly advocate its existence will ever actually make it there to be so smug about it. The many worlds interpretation is one of mankind's ways of interpreting the seemingly inescapable problem of probability in quantum mechanics. Instead of actually acknowledging the so-called probability wave as an object in and of itself, the many worlds interpretation theorizes that all possibilities included in the probability wave are in fact true in their own universe. That is to say, for each possible location of a particle, there is a universe in which that particle is there, splitting off from our own, but just as valid and real. As the number of possibilities for the location of a particle under quantum mechanics is so mind-bogglingly huge, and as each particle in the apparently infinite universe has each of those options, the number of parallel realities this would imply is so incomprehensibly huge that certain linguists who follow this sort of thing argue that the term infinite does not accurately describe it. While they seem to agree on this point, they have not yet reached the phrase that they all feel does, though several of the ideas that have been brought forth include unfinite, which was dismissed for being too boring, and ilzoridos, which was ultimately not approved due to making no sense whatsoever. The many worlds interpretation, despite having no real evidence to prove itself, has become a leading theory in modern Earth physics for two important reasons. One, it appeals to classicists who simply don't want to believe that particles can go back and forth between physical objects as waves of probability. Two, the Ilzidorius number of universes implies that for any given observer, there is at least one universe where they were actually able to attract a member of the opposite sex, which for many scientists is a dream come true. The implications of this theory have led to several notable thought experiments, the most well-known being the so-called quantum immortality experiment. It goes something like this. Step 1. Rig up a machine that has a 50% chance of killing whatever is inside it based on the actions of a quantum particle. Step 2. Place a human inside this machine. And Step 3. Turn it on. According to the many worlds interpretation, every time the outcome is decided, the universe diverges into two, one in which the person is killed and one in which they are not. Therefore, the person is both alive and dead regardless of the outcome. If, however, the machine were programmed to continue deciding the outcome every 30 seconds until the person inside were dead, the probability of survival would eventually reach 1 to infinity. This would result in an absurd number of universes in which the subject would be killed. However, with an infinite number of universes, there would be at least one universe in which the machine would never kill the person inside. And so after several days of excruciating anxiety, they would die instead due to lack of water. This thought experiment is sometimes more accurately referred to as the quantum suicide experiment. The many worlds interpretation that is developed on Earth is a primitive version of the many-verse theory that was prevalent in the second great and bountiful Artarian Empire's interplanetary scientific community, before it was eventually debunked by the discovery by Halon Miltbergen's unexpected venture into an alternate reality. This shattered a central pillar of the many-verse theory, one that, incidentally, it shares with Earth's many worlds interpretation, that one universe, once split, cannot interact with its parallel universes. It was at this point that the intergalactic scientific community collectively threw up their hands and went home to tinker with developing miniature ecosystems that they could fully control and understand.